welcome back to day 2 of Channel Live. You're with me, Natalie Turner from Disruptive Live, and my fabulous co-host.
I'm Paul Richins from Tricker Consulting.
Lovely. Today we are joined by Chris Sweet, Head of UK Sales from Transatel. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you for asking. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and why you're here today.
Okay, so I obviously work for Transatel. I'm an account manager and also do some business development for Transatel. We're currently here at Channel Live to showcase our FMC product, but also to talk about any other opportunities that Transatel works on, whether it being MVNO or whether it might be in the IoT side of things.
So tell us a little bit about your role. What do you do, the impact that you have?
So as an account manager for Transatel, what I tend to do is I work very, very closely with our MVNOs. So an MVNO is basically an operator who doesn't have their own network, but obviously it allows them to have their own branding on the SIMs, branding on the handset, and to design their offer and be completely independent from any other networks and not be under a reseller model. So I would accompany any of these MVNOs to help them grow, help them find the best strategies for growth, and obviously if they don't know anything about telecoms, I'll be able to give them hand-holding and basically help them
look after
become successful.
It's quite a big step to go from just reselling mobile phones to becoming an MVNO. And how easy is it to do nowadays? Take me through the process. Is it a 6, 10 month, 12 month kind of?
Essentially with Transatel, it's very, very easy because we do all of the techie stuff behind. So you would just concentrate on designing your offer, telling us what you want, and then you go out and do your marketing and sales. So it's all of the technological stuff, all of the development work is mainly done on the Transatel side. So for you, it's very, very simple. You just you would tell us what you want up on the sales stage, and we would be able to give you an offer.
That's fantastic. So we were chatting earlier on about IoT, and I understand you've got some really interesting offerings that you're rolling out globally within the transportation sector.
Yep, so Transatel has obviously got two main focuses. One of them is the IoT focus, the other one is MVNO. On the IoT side of things, we're a global data MVNO. So we've got a solution which means that you can use one SIM card, whether it be an eSIM, a standard plastic SIM, or UICC, whatever type of SIM you need, and you can integrate that upon manufacturing stage and ship it across globally, and it will work in, we've got over 140 countries which we've got the data agreements in.
So that's fantastic. I mean, and obviously that gives the UK resellers the opportunity to service a much more globally targeted audience, or clients that do have multiple locations around the world.
It's a fantastic opportunity for people who, if you're a service provider and you've got customers that often go roaming, we've got lots and lots of devices at the moment in the market which has eSIM capability or which have a second SIM slot, and you can take advantage of those by using one of Transatel's propositions, either by selling our own in-house brand, which is Ubergy, or you could become your own MVNO. Transatel will do all of the heavy lifting, will do all of the background work for you to do that. You'll be able to sell your own brand, and you'll be able to go, and your customers will be able to roam under your brand across the world, easy as.
So earlier we were talking about channel partners and that you're an enabler. Mm-hmm. Could you tell us and our audience a little bit more about that and how you enable channel partners?
So the idea is, if you want to be a channel distributor or if you want to be a service provider, Transatel would basically be doing the technical bit behind it, and we would allow you to display, for example, your brand on the handset, on the SIMs, design your own offer. So if you want to be a channel player, we could create your own channel brand, and you would then be able to go to market with that brand and find your own resellers.
Right, okay, so you've been coming to this event for how long now?
I think this is our third year at Channel Life.
What have been the improvements, like from when you first came to when you've come, obviously yesterday and today? You said that it's been your best show yet, so tell us a little bit more about that.
I think definitely yesterday was a very, very productive day. We spoke to a lot of people, a lot of interest. I don't know whether it's because it's the third year that we've been showcasing this same product, so it started to take a little bit, and a lot more people understand what we're talking about when we talk about FMC, and also I think the market's kind of maturing and waking up to different technologies that are available, not only on SIMs but also in fixed line.
What do you think the biggest change has been in the market that you've seen in your sector?
For me, it's mainly in terms of looking at players who want to become MVNOs themselves. So I've worked with, on a company, some big household brands who are energy providers, and they've obviously got no idea about what telco is. They don't know anything about becoming their own MVNO. And it's really, really interesting to accompany these brands to become a mobile operator. And what's really changing is all of these household brands are diversifying into several sectors. And mobile seems to be one of the easiest pieces to add on, especially with companies like ourselves who can do all of that heavy lifting work for you, and they can just go to market with their brand.
So you'll have to forgive me, Chris, I haven't done a great deal of research on the MVNO market, but is it actually still a growing sector?
Yeah, there's MVNOs being signed on a very, very regular basis for an MNO, so for a classic operator. The MVNO sector is obviously very, very interesting for them to help grow the channel, because obviously MVNOs provide flexibility, new solutions to the market. So for example, the FMC product that we're showcasing, MNOs don't offer that. So they rely, for example, BT, who Transatel operate with as our network provider, they look to us to provide these kind of innovative solutions, so it helps grow through the market in sectors outside classic SIM-only deals.
So what's been your biggest achievement so far?
In terms of launching
we can talk about professionally, we can talk about personally if you fancy it, but no, in your business, in your company, what's been the biggest development, the biggest achievement that you guys are proud to say that you've done?
So many things that happen, and very, very often it's very, very difficult to talk about. I definitely think that launching some of we've recently launched Utilita, who's a big brand in energy, and I think that's definitely a very, very high-profile company that we have enabled, and we're proud to support in doing that. So I think that's one of my biggest achievements in the recent months.
Amazing. So we're talking about obviously achievements, which is fantastic. What about the challenges or difficulties that you faced during this time?
Challenges.
Obviously, there's never enough time to deliver any project.
I think that's it. I think, as with all tech companies, it's all about we're not the only players. We're not the people working to help our companies. Obviously, if you want to become an MVNO, for example, you'll also need to work with a billing partner. You'll have to work with the enablers, such as ourselves. So it's all to do with getting everybody on schedule and having the time and synchronizing and getting everything going. But I think Transatel's proposition is MVNO in a box, so we've kind of got our timelines and we can kind of stick to them, and I think we're fairly successful in that.
Incredible. Me and Paul were talking earlier about what we thought the trending theme was at this event, and the thing that seems to have happened quite regularly, people have spoken about, is unified communications. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that? What have you been impressed by at this event?
So obviously our FMC proposition is an extension to unified communications, so that's obviously the product that we're showcasing now. So the idea is with FMC is that you've got a unified communications platform, but the idea is you can add SIMs on as an endpoint. So no longer are you having to rely on using apps to terminate calls on a mobile, but it actually passes through the GSM network using Transatel's connection into the IPv6.
And that's a really interesting way of developing it. It's actually, I guess, being bred out of user behaviour and user habit and making it simpler.
I think that's the essential thing. When you have to change somebody's behaviour, that's when you get lower take-up in the market, and so the simpler it is and the less that you have to change to what everybody's used to doing, I think that makes the market strategy a lot easier, and I think it's it's definitely the way in which you need to entice your customers. Because if you say to somebody, you have to download an app or do something different, then people aren't going to be interested.
So with 5G on the horizon, it's another trending topic that's been throughout the year. Is how much more capability do you think 5G is going to be able to deliver mobile phone users?
So in terms of URI, 5G isn't going to make any difference whatsoever. So 5G is basically allowing you to download speeds at a rate that we don't need to use on a day-to-day basis. Everything that we can do on our mobile phone is more than capable of doing on a 4G level. I mean, do you have problems when you're downloading a video over 4G? No, it's pretty quick, and there's not a lot that you need to do to improve things. I think 5G is more of a rural broadband solution, and I think it's and also other use cases such as IoT and connected cars. But I think it's more of a complementary story to 4G rather than the way in which 3G was replaced by 4G.
So when we talk about connected and the transportation, so if there are infotainment systems, obviously we're familiar with those on an airplane, and how close are we to delivering those kind of real-time speeds into cars?
How are we? Sorry, I didn't
how quickly is the technology catching up on the in-car entertainment platforms to be able to deliver real-time video? I've got an 11-year-old son, and he just kills my Wi-Fi device. So if I can get it via the vehicle, then everyone's going to be happy.
Well, this is what Transatel does using its global data connectivity offer. So the likes of Jaguar Land Rover installs our SIMs at manufacturing level and is then able to ship out their cars with the same SIM, the same operator negotiation. There's only one person they negotiate with Transatel and ship those across, and that obviously gives you today the 4G connectivity that you need to do all of that streaming, and it also allows the cars to update their software and to do all of the telematics as well.
Fantastic.
That's great, thank you. Well, that is actually all we've got time for. However, we have got time for a little quiz.
Okay.
I know David's been doing this in the morning and all yesterday, but we've jazzed it up, haven't we?
Yeah, and we've got some beautiful prizes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. David's bag of
I wasn't warned
fun
about this.
gifts are out here. So, actually, on the topic of 5G, what is the best G? 5G, 4G, 3G, or Ali G? That was his question.
Sorry.
I think 4G because we've got it now and we can use it.
Yeah, I thought you might say
I
that.
was to say Ali, yeah. It's always Ali for me.
Yeah. See, that's why he threw that in there.
Congratulations! I guess you win a prize.
Yes, you have won a
You can
prize.
help us out.
Okay. You've got some really exciting options in here. Screen protector? No. I'm going to give you a chocolate bar.
Fantastic.
It's much more exciting. There you go.
Thank
you so much. It was lovely meeting you, and thank you for
Great to
coming
meet you,
on
Chris.
Disruptive
Thank you.
Live. But unfortunately, that is all we have time for. But don't go away. We will be back after a short break. Do join in on the conversations at #CBLive19 and #CHLive19, and obviously #DisruptiveLive. See you in a bit.